Canada's women's rugby sevens team won a historic medal, while Kylie Masse continued Canada's rise to relevance in the pool. A pair of bronze performances on day 3 of the Rio Olympics gave Canada its first multi-medal day of the Games and kept it on pace for its overall goal of 19 podium finishes. Canada has won silver and 3 bronze medals so far, with 3 of those coming from the women's swim team. Masse, from LaSalle, Ontario, added to Canada's fortunes in the pool by finishing tied for third in the women's 100-meter backstroke. Canada, which hadn't had a women's Olympic swimming medal since the 1996 Atlanta Games, has sent a swimmer to the podium for 3 straight days. Earlier, Ghislaine Landry had 2 tries and 4 conversions to lead the Sevens squad to a decisive 33-10 win over Britain in the bronze medal match as women's rugby made its Olympic debut. The nation's women athletes have been the story so far for Canada, accounting for all 4 medals. Masse posted a Canadian record time of 58.76 seconds en route to her bronze. Her swim followed a bronze in the women's 4x100-meter freestyle relay on the opening day of the Games and Penny Oleksiak's silver in the women's 100 butterfly on day 2. From the performances like the relay and Penny last night, everyone's done so well not just in the pool, but also the other Canadian athletes. It's really inspiring to see everyone do well, Masse said. It really gives each athlete hope for their own successes. Hungary's Kate Kohoutzou won gold in 58.45 seconds. Kathleen Baker of the United States took silver in 58.75 and Chinese swimmer Fu Yunhui tied with Masse to win a second bronze medal. I knew it was a tight race and I knew just from swimming prelims and semis, we're all so close and a lot of tough competitors, Masse said. I knew it was going to come down to the touch and just trying to get my hand on the wall first. The Sevens rugby squad gave Canada its second team sport medal in as many games after the women's soccer team captured the nation's attention by winning bronze 4 years ago in London. But the medal was considered bittersweet for some on the team, as it followed a disappointing 17-5 semi-final loss to eventual champion Australia. There's a lot of games over this tournament that we just didn't play the rugby that we are capable of, said Landry. We were pretty disappointed with that, but that's a performance that we can be proud of and it's good rugby. Captain Jen Kish, however, couldn't stop beaming. I feel like a superhero, said Kish, who had been shedding tears just minutes earlier as the clock counted down. I know 11 of my other teammates feel that way too. What a freaking historic moment for us. Now I know what our Canadian women's soccer team felt like when they got bronze at the 2012 Games. It's just an ultimate superhero feeling. It's great. Karen Paquin, Bianca Farrell and Kelly Russell had the other tries for Canada, which took a commanding 26-5 halftime advantage. Elsewhere, Canada's women's basketball team improved to 2-0 after rallying for an exciting 71-67 victory over Serbia. Kia Nurse scored 25 points for the Canadians, who trailed by as many as 18 points in the third quarter before outscoring the Serbians 26-10 in the fourth. And Vancouver's Vasek Pospisil and Toronto's Daniel Nestor topped Portugal's Gastão Elias and João Sousa 6-1, 6-4 to advance to the men's doubles quarter-final in tennis. But Eugenie Bouchard of Westmount, K, was eliminated from the women's singles tennis event with a 6-4, 6-2 second-round loss to German Angelique Kerber. Bouchard opened strong with an early break in the first set but Kerber earned a break of her own and the Canadian never recovered. Bouchard still has a shot at medal and an Olympic doubles title with Ottawa's Gabby Dabrowski. The Canadian men's field hockey team fell to 0-2 with a 3-1 loss to Argentina. Vancouver's Scott Tupper scored in the 55th minute for Canada, which faces the Netherlands on Tuesday. Canada will be hard-pressed to advance to the quarter-finals as only the top 4 from each of the 2 pools qualify. It was also a disappointing day on the water for the Canadian men's quadruple sculls rowing squad. Will Dean of Kelowna, BC, Rob Gibson of Kingston, Ontario, Pascal Lassier of St. Jean-sur-Richelieu, K, and Julien Bohane, who was born in France but competes for Canada, were 5th in the repechage and failed to qualify for the final. The team needed a top 2 result to advance. We just beat ourselves, said Gibson. We just tried too hard. We started pulling apart from each other and in a boat and a crew like this we've really got to be one unit. We've said it all along, we're strong enough to be with the best crews in the world. Victoria's Lindsay Jenrick and Patricia Obi, Canada's best hope for a rowing medal, won their heat in the women's lightweight double sculls to advance to the semi-final round Wednesday. But the women's 8 crew finished last in its 3-boat heat. Victoria's Kaylee Filmer, Suzanne Granger of London, Ontario. Natalie Mastrixi of Thorold, Ontario. Christine Nurse of Georgetown, Ontario. Lisa Roman of Langley, BC. Christine Roper, a native of Jamaica now living in Canada. Aunt Javon Seidlitz of Smithers, BC. And Lauren Wilkinson of North Vancouver, BC, along with coxswain Leslie Thompson Willie of London will need a top 4 finish in Wednesday's repechage to make the final. Golf makes its return to Olympic competition Thursday with Canadian Graham Dillette serving as the defending champion. The native of Weyburn, Sask, was given the lofty distinction at the tournament draw Monday because Toronto's George Lyon won gold in St. Louis Games in 1904, the last time the sport was recognized as an Olympic event. Dillette will be in the opening threesome along with Brazil's Adilson da Silva and Bae Young-Hunan of South Korea. Da Silva is the lone Brazilian in the field while both of Hunan's parents won medals in table tennis at the '88 Seoul Games.